Johnny Clegg's music, I suppose, is the soundtrack to the lives of many South Africans, whether they're white or black. He really epitomized a South African, whatever color they are. I suppose he envisaged a rainbow nation long before anyone had thought of that. I interviewed him once, and he said that he never set out to be a political activist or a musical activist. Politics sort of found him. He just had a natural curiosity about the other in South Africa, and during apartheid, his natural curiosity about other people's music and other people's lives just drew him into townships, into the hostels, and putting himself at some personal risk. But there's just the pull of exploring just was too great for him. And he wasn't just a musician, he was also an academic, an anthropologist who taught at some of the universities. Just a very, very fully rounded person who will be deeply missed. My timeline on my social media tonight is really full of just an incredible outpouring of grief and affection for him that I don't think we've seen in South Africa since the death of Nelson Mandela.
Mm. The end wasn't exactly a surprise. He did learn of his diagnosis quite a few years back. And once he did, he went on this huge worldwide tour, you managing to catch his concert in Cape Town. But bearing in mind that he was ill, why do you think he would take on such a huge undertaking as a world tour at a time like that?
Well, I think he just loved performing. He loved live performances. It was the best way for him to connect with people. He really, his shows were so full and so energetic. He packed so much into it. And he said that as soon as he realized that his time was numbered, the only thing he really wanted to stay well for was to go on one last farewell tour. And he went round the world, taking on dozens and dozens of concert venues. I mean, he wasn't just popular with South Africans or the South African diaspora or even the African diaspora. He had fans on every single continent, and he made sure that he gave them all an incredible last show. And he took his son Jesse with him. He's also a very successful musician in South Africa. And he also took some of the figures from his earlier life in music, and what an incredible legacy he's left to South Africans. Such great songs, such optimism for the future of this country, and I think people will hold that very close now, thinking about him.